Success Mantra is a program which features people, successful individuals from various walks of life. They are less known heroes who believe in their dreams and have conviction to live their full potential. Idols, icons, innovators who care to live every moment on their own terms.
Hi everyone, it's once again Success Mantra Show. It's really wonderful to have another guest with us, and today's guest is again one such person who has always inspired a lot of people by the way she leads her life. She has been a corporate analyst and actually, to be more precise, a business analyst in IBM for a long time, and thereafter she switched to a freelance analyst role with Upwork and many such organizations, and happily doing so from the comfort of her home, as well as she is a barefoot walker and also does a video blog and very interesting things that she engages in. So let's understand more about her and what she has to say. Welcome, Jyoti. Welcome to the show Success Mantra.
Thanks, Sonali, for choosing me. Thanks for talking to me. It's my pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. It's really, I've been kind of watching you walk every morning, and it's always brilliant. And I've always been curious that this entire barefoot walking, how does it really help in terms of health, in terms of well-being of a person that you chose to do it so diligently?
So, barefoot walking, I started, when I had a problem in my heel.
Mhm.
In medical terms, it is called plantar fasciitis.
Okay.
So it comes due to a lot of reasons. It can be due to the age, it can be due to the calcium deficiency or magnesium deficiency, or
Okay.
the wrong posture when you're walking, or
Mhm.
when you are walking with a worn out shoes
Mhm.
where the heel is worn out. So it can be any of those reasons. So I got it. I don't know how I got that. So I had a tough time, um, dealing with that, because morning when I put my feet down, it came to one of my feet, so it used to pain a lot. So that is the time when I started googling, what is this all about. So at that time I didn't know it is called plantar fasciitis. So by
Okay.
giving all the symptoms, whatever I had and all,
Okay.
yeah,
Has it
doctors will
really
think.
helped since then? Since the time you really started this barefoot walking, has it helped reduce the pain and the entire fitness? I assume it does because I've seen you walk at a common speed that anybody runs. So I'm assuming that you're feeling good after walking barefoot.
Yeah. So yeah. So what I thought is, okay, that is all the medical terms. So I thought how to prevent it. Yeah,
Sure.
there is something, and there is a treatment and all. But whenever there is something comes, I always look for the prevention. Prevention is better than cure.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
one of the thing which I have read in internet is barefoot walking. So barefoot walking, what happens is when you land, you land on your toes.
Okay.
Unlike when you wear a shoe, you land on your heel. So which will keep the overall body weight on your joints and the heel, and that's how the pain comes. So, but when you do the barefoot walking, which is a natural way of walking, so you will land up on your toe, and the pressure will reduce.
Okay.
So that's what I have read. So I thought, okay, let me start. So I started. First 1 week it was quite tough, because I never did that. So the roads, and when I walked, it was quite pokey, and but I continued because I wanted to reduce that pain.
Right.
So it helped. It helped. So finally, the answer to your question is yes. It helped. it
I
helps
can,
because
I can see that. Yeah.
I believe, it increases the blood circulation and it is an exercise to the brain as well. So I think because of all that, it helps. So I do barefoot walking as well as trekking. I do
Oh,
barefoot trekking where the trails will be even more tough. It will be like rocky trail and all. So that is more tougher than barefoot walking on roads where not much challenge will be there.
sure. So next time you're going on the trail trekking and all, please count me in. I'm really, excited to join you in one of these treks, as I've always mentioned to you. Yeah.
Sure, sure,
All right.
certainly.
So Jyoti, like from a company like IBM, you chose to do something on your own and freelance on something that you're really passionate about, that is being an analyst. How come you took a decision, and is there any regret around it?
Freelancing, no regrets at all. That is the highest satisfaction I get from freelancing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so after my corporate job, I didn't want to go back to corporate job again. But I didn't know that there is something called freelancing worldwide websites like Upwork and all. I
Sure.
think my younger brother that time, when I spoke to him, he told me about there is something called like this where you can venture out and see.
Sure.
So the main motivation was, okay, frankly speaking, I got fed up with my managers and all during my corporate jobs and all.
I guess
So
that's the same story with a lot of people, right? Yeah.
I wanted to do something where, I have the freedom to choose
Sure.
whatever I wanted to do.
Mhm.
I, I want to have the freedom of saying no of what I don't like.
Sure.
I want to have the freedom of, choosing or grabbing, whatever I like.
Mhm.
In corporate world, if you say no, then, they say, okay, you're not flexible, you're not this, you're not that, or so many things. So,
It impacts your
because of,
appraisals.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
Like motherhood statements like, not flexible,
Right.
all those, IT terms and all.
Yeah. True.
So that is the reason which I don't want to go back to corporate world
Mhm.
even now. Um, so then I initially before Upwork, but there was something called WeWork. It's called virtual work and all. I don't know if it still exists.
Okay.
So I went there and then I started Googling, okay, what are the other websites, top websites where I can, look for the freelancing work. Then I came to know about this Upwork. So initially, Upwork was called as Odesk. It was
Yeah.
not called Upwork.
Right.
Uh,
Mhm.
it was called Odesk, and then it got merged with Elance, and then rebranded as Upwork.
Right.
So I was into both. I was into Elance and I was into Odesk as well.
This is
So when I saw, it was like, oh, this is what I want. I want freedom.
sure.
I want to define my own terms,
Yeah.
uh, which was difficult in corporate world. So
Sure.
I think for past 9.5 years, I've been doing freelancing, and
Mhm.
I'm a top-rated freelancer in Upwork. See, the
Yeah.
top-rated status over there, the freelancers will get when their job success rate is 90% and above.
Wow.
So till now, I never gone below 90%. So my success rate was always above, 90%. So
So you're
uh,
doing your own appraisals these days.
yeah, yeah. One more, the other thing which I liked is, you can give feedback on your manager over there. So manager, yeah, there is no manager first of all over there,
Yeah.
but you can give feedback on the client, which I liked a lot.
Beautiful.
Yeah, in corporate world, when will you give like
Not there. Yeah.
you
Absolutely.
you don't give feedback on your
Fact, if
manager.
you, yeah, if you compare this to the entire world of Uber and all these other aspects also,
Yeah,
like you give a feedback to them, for working for you, they also give a feedback to you whether you are a good employer or not.
Yeah.
True,
So
absolutely.
that is the one which I liked a lot because I can choose, jobs based upon clients' feedback. Yeah, of course, my feedback matters to them,
Yeah,
in hiring me, and their feedback matters to me whether I can do a job for them or not. If they don't treat the previous freelancers well, then
right.
I can always say no. So all that I liked, which I never had in corporate world. You can never say no to the manager. That is the usual thing, and also.
Right.
So I'm the like top 10% of Upwork freelancers where I keep that top rated status.
Sure.
So I also got the appreciation from the CEO of Upwork
I was
that
seeing that. Yeah. Beautiful.
yeah.
Excellent.
So no regrets at all. The answer to your question is no regrets at all. It's like a bird coming out of the cage. So bird will not go back to the cage again. So no regrets. I'm very happy, and it's above 100% job satisfaction over there. I know there is no limit the kind of job satisfaction I get over there and the variety of projects I get over there.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Something very interesting about these modern day startups is that there is a lot of importance given to the people who are delivering the work. It's not just the clients who are coming; they are customers, and customer is always the king. But they are also dealing with their employees as a customer, so internal customer as well as external customer. It is said even in corporate, but it is yet to be given that kind of weightage in terms of employee satisfaction, that needs to come through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So, Jyoti, like you have had this varied experiences and wonderful other things that you kind of participate in. What in your mind would you say success is all about?
Okay. So, what is success? See, according to me, success is the one, what you aspire for, what you dream,
Mhm.
and you put lot of effort, in achieving that.
Mhm.
You put all your in
I lost
achieving
you
that,
there.
and you achieve it,
Yeah.
and after you achieve, you
Mm.
start seeing the results, because that is what you dreamt of, that that if you achieve this is what will happen, and you achieve it and you see the results, and by looking at the results you feel so happy, that happiness, by looking back and seeing the results of the success or results of the hard work is what is success according to me. And with that, you can sleep well in the night, peacefully, and getting a lot of peace of mind is what is success to me.
Beautiful. So, in this journey of success, what would you say is more important? Is it the skills, which are, your skills are more critical, or are the traits and behaviors or the personality that you have that is more important in terms of achieving success? Between skills and traits and behaviors.
I think before that, to achieve a success, you need to be clear on what you want. That is
Sure.
the most important thing.
Right.
uh, Attaining skills and other things come next, but you need to be very very clear on what you want to do and what you want to achieve.
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, once you are clear on that, then yes, attaining the skills is the important thing.
Hmm.
And after that, implementing all those skills. See, okay, a learning skill is one thing and you need to implement and in your work,
Hmm.
and sticking to what you believe. Let us say, if you believe in some morals, stick to those morals. Don't give up. um, uh, while working on all these things is what is more important.
Okay. So, what I
Did I
feel,
answer your question,
yeah.
or I didn't get your question fully, I guess.
Yeah. So, what I am asking you basically is you're clear about your goal. You know where to hit, where is the goal post and where to hit the ball, right? Now, what is more critical? Are the skills more important, or are the internal drivers, like you said, the morale or the behaviors, the traits, that is more important? The softer and the harder aspects, which are the more
Both
critical?
are important. Yeah, both are important according to me.
Sure.
But than the skills, I give higher weightage to your behavior. That is what I give. See, skills can be learnt anytime, but behavior, it has to come from within. That takes a long time to attain it.
Mm.
So, though both are important, I give more weightage to the attitude, or the internal behavior or the personality. Skills can be attained anytime. That is not a tough job to do. Tough job is, having those values, having that character
Sure.
is what is important. Yes.
Excellent. Very
I
well.
hope I answered the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, absolutely. You did. And, if you had to name three skills, traits that has really helped you in achieving your goals, any three traits or behaviors which has always helped you in life in terms of achieving your goals, what are they?
The most important trait is not giving up. That is what I feel.
Mhm.
How much ever hurdles come, don't give up. That is the first thing. The second thing is, yeah, when it doesn't work out, don't lose your confidence, don't lose your self confidence.
Mm.
um, and plan. Let us say you have something to achieve,
Mm.
you plan it. You see, what are the different ways of doing that part, and you plan accordingly. So the three traits, I think, is the most important thing is not giving up.
Not giving.
How much ever hurdles you have, don't give up and don't lose self confidence, and plan your success. That is what I feel are the three important things.
So, like using all these traits as well as skills that you have acquired over the years, when you look back, what has been the biggest achievement in your life? So, it could be personal, it could be professional, something which really gives you a lot of joy even today when you look back.
Sonali, there are many actually. I think this answer will take a couple of minutes because
Only one which gives you that, okay, this is something, it's an immediate pickup. That every time, let's say there is a challenge, you think of this and you feel that, okay, anything, if I can do this, I can do anything.
okay, what I'll do is one I'll give from my personal and one I give from professional life.
Sure.
Okay, first professional life, I'll go with my professional life. What is the top thing that I get that achievement feeling? I
Mm.
think, see, let me give little bit of background of business analysis. The business analysis is a profession where it is tough to do remotely. Most of the
Right.
people think that, you can't do a business analysis job or requirements gathering sitting at home.
Yeah.
Traditionally, business analysts, goes, I mean, they travel a lot and they go sit with the client face to face,
Mm.
and they do the interviews and gather the requirements,
Mm.
and then they come out with the requirements document. So when I was in IBM as well, when I used to tell them that, I can do this job remotely, working from home and things like that, they never used to believe it. How can a BA is the short form of business
Yeah.
analyst,
Understand.
do this, You need to travel, you need to sit in front of the customer, understand the system, because he is the one, or he or she is the one who gives the requirements.
Yeah.
uh, so it's been almost, I think, 15 years I'm into business analysis, and I think in all these years I completed all my jobs, working remotely. That is the satisfaction I get, uh, where when I say, okay, business analyst, and I work from home, and that too freelancing and all, people don't believe that, can a business analyst, write requirements, working from home.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest satisfaction I get, or the biggest achievement feeling I get, that I'm doing business analysis, around, I think in freelancing I completed around 52 projects in freelancing, and when I was in IBM also I worked from home. uh, but freelancing gave me much more opportunities. So, and all were done without a single voice call,
Wow.
because people used to tell me, without, first of all, the first thing is you need to sit face to face and talk and then gather the requirements. Okay, if you cannot, then you have to do either Skype calls or Zoom or Microsoft Teams, whatever, and gather the requirements.
Right.
uh, but I think 99.9 projects of mine are without a single voice call. So I successfully did all those things with 5-star rating. So
Wow.
that is the biggest satisfaction I get, professionally. And the biggest satisfaction from my personal life, uh, being a woman, I get a lot of satisfaction that, oh, women can become successful, in their professional life, apart from doing the, household chores, and apart from, giving birth and all, women can have a career. That is another satisfaction I get. And of course, without support of lot of people, it wouldn't have been possible. Especially my husband, who has supported me, encouraged me. He never stopped me, on whatever I wanted to do. And my parents, when I asked for the nannies, for my daughter when she was too young and all, they really hunted a lot and got me good nannies, where I could able to, manage home as well as
Wow.
uh, office with the help of those nannies. And without the support of those nannies, it wouldn't have been possible. Support of those nannies and support of those maids, uh, I can't dream of, leaving the family and going out and, working.
Mm.
uh, and also when they go on vacation, when the maids or the nannies go on vacation, without the support of my, you know my mother and my mother-in-law, when these people go on
What you
vacation,
do now, as in now that because of lockdown, we don't have maids and nannies and all of that. Children have grown up, of course, but even then, how is it now?
okay. For me, there was no difference, Sonali, because I was already a self-dependent or
Hmm.
self-sufficient, Atmanirbhar. For past 4 years, I managed my entire house without any service providers like maids or
Really,
gardeners
you
or
had started this 4 years back.
before pandemic. Before pandemic.
This is awesome. I was like patting my back and saying, "Hey, look, I have done it without a maid for last 9 months." And now I see that you clearly deserve the trophy, not me. That's a good one.
I think, all I could able to do, because of the job satisfaction I get from my freelancing career, that I could able to do all these things. I think, I
Right.
don't know. I think because of the time management or prioritization, everything. So,
Uh,
uh, pandemic effect, frankly speaking, I don't have any effect, because earlier to pandemic also, I used to go out only for the essentials. Now they're saying, okay, go out only for the essentials. And I'm not the person who go out and eat a lot. I like home cooked food,
Awesome.
so
You were
I
totally
never.
trained before the pandemic to deal with it. Very nice. Only one thing, Jyoti, when you were relating about your satisfaction, it's really nice to see how you managed everything and all. However, one thing that came up is that you still have a feeling that, yeah, as women, we are able to do things, we are professionals. Great. As women, we have been encouraged by others. So it's more than our decision to do something for ourselves. It's like, okay, somebody has allowed me to do that. And I don't know, somehow it hits me, even today when I talk to women, I as a professional, I was totally a kind of workaholic, and I used to be in office. And you're true that these maids and nannies were our survival kind of process to deal with everything. But today, when I look back, in spite of juggling so many things, sometimes when the kids say, you know what, at that day, this time you weren't there, and I say that, your dad wasn't there that time, that's fine. But mom wasn't there was a different story. And, this really kind of hits me even today, that why is our society still grappling with this issue in terms of women being more independent? They're doing what they want to do. If they want to sit at home and do something else, that is different. If they don't want to become a professional, look at you. You have managed your profession from home, which is like an ideal situation. However, if you can't do that, why is this guilt such a big thing?
Guilt of not
Guilt
being there,
of
or
not being there on certain occasions. Okay, you can't be there everywhere all the time, right? Because when you're professionally engaged in things, there are times which is going to take away from, you have to make peace with this or that. So as a woman, do you really feel that this balance brings in, while you're trying the balance, sometimes when you're off balance, then it hits you and you start feeling, only if I could be here as well as clone myself in the other place also.
Uh, see, I can talk about only myself. I cannot talk, on behalf of other women. But I never had the guilt, of not being there and all. I was there in most of the important occasions. When my daughter had to, call me, or for all PTMs, I was there.
Hmm.
Actually, I'm more there than my husband, actually.
Ah.
So I don't have any guilt, because yeah, I could able to balance that work in life. Yeah, again, thanks to all those
Nanny.
nannies, maids, and my mother-in-law and my mother who took care. And yeah, so I don't have any guilt, Sonali. So my daughter also never tells me that, okay, mom, okay, you were not there during those days. Actually, she doesn't want me to sit at home. She says that, get out of the house, so that I'll have some freedom and all. But she's not like that. She's quite independent. My daughter from the childhood. Yeah, so I can only talk about myself. I don't know about other women, how they feel and all. Yeah, of course, as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as a professional, you need to be extremely energetic. One need to be extremely, prioritize, what is important and what is not important. Yeah, let us say there are some 10 tasks in a day, out of which some will be wife related, some will be mother related, some will be professional related. You need to prioritize what comes first, what comes second, what comes third, and give time according to that. Then, if you do that, and you need to be extremely good in time management, and disciplined. And if I do, or if anybody does all that, I don't think so. The people will be unhappy, or the children will be unhappy,
No,
or the
I'm not
spouse.
saying children are unhappy, but there are occasions where you have to, like suppose this evening you have a client call and somebody in the house requires you, though you explain it to them that so and so is there, but it's always there that they needed you at this xyz moment, and you cannot be in both places. It's an obvious thing to happen, like even when you're working from home. I've experienced it myself that there are times when I have a call and there is something which I have to attend to. Some milk guy has come, or the newspaper guy has come, or something is happening. And today fortunately I've been able to train others into taking up responsibilities, right? However, that superwoman act is still there, that I have to manage everything. I have to be the best mother, the best sister, the best friend, and the best professional, and the best wife, and so on and so forth. Why this command? My thought process is that as a professional, you are a good professional, okay, great. Or you're a good mother, great. You can't be a champion in all the sports. You are getting what I am saying? I can play many sports, but I can be champion in only one. This is what I was always told by, like some of my best friends and my coaches, that yes, being good in all of them is good. Average marks, 70% I'm getting in everything. But getting a 99% you can do only in one or two subjects, not in all the subjects that you're handling, right? So that's what I meant.
Okay, so for me, okay, getting 99% in all the subjects is not the objective. you know, yeah, you can't make everybody happy, Sonali, in this world, whether it is spouse or children or parents or anybody, 100% happy, giving happiness to one person. I don't think so. It is possible. Yeah. So my objective is not to make everybody happy. Yeah, I know that during this process somebody will be happy, somebody will be unhappy. Then during that process, what is my priority?
Correct.
If the decision comes, let us say if there is a client call, and at the same time, there is some family thing also. So of course, I always give a priority to the family than to the client. So I don't mind telling client that because of this responsibility I cannot attend a call.
Sure.
Yeah, if the client, most of the clients, they are not that bad that they don't understand and all.
Uh,
Especially the woman tells they do understand that they have other priorities than the career and all.
mm.
Yeah, but as a woman or as a professional, I never had this, okay, I need to be best mother, best wife, best this and all. I was, I just prioritize. Yeah, when all the come when all the to do list comes, and when I need to decide which one comes on the top, then of course I give a priority to the family.
Awesome.
And so I don't know whether I answered your question, but yeah. So for me, I very well know that I cannot make everybody happy in this world. That
At
is not
all
possible.
the times. Everybody can be happy some of the times, but they cannot
Yeah,
be happy at the same time.
yeah. It also depends upon the situations and different
Sure. Yeah.
circumstances and lot of factors. Yeah.
Right. Right. Well said. So Jyoti, it's brilliant that whether it's your time management and whether this decision to move away from corporate and being your own boss and commanding this position in terms of the kind of quality of work that you provide to people, that's brilliant. So, have you ever come across any kind of failure? And if yes, then how have you dealt with it?
Failures, yes, Sonali, like, yeah, like in everybody's life, my life also, yeah, has had some lows and highs and all. Failure, see, I don't like this word called failure. It is so negative to me. Again,
Sure.
I cannot talk about about on behalf of other women. But to me, I don't like this word called failure. Yeah, putting it in a different way. Yeah, I did not the expectation was not according to your liking. That
Right.
is what I would like to put that.
Hmm.
Yeah, there were occasions, where what I expected did not happen. So how did I come out of that? See, um, you know, again, when something did not come as per my expectation, then the first thing is I don't give up. Then I think I will look into the root cause analysis. What analyze the situation. What is that which did not work out. Uh, in getting something or in getting the way in which you wanted it to be, there might be different paths. Might be I've chosen a wrong path to achieve that, and there might be different paths like path 2, path 3 and all. Might be, if I do that, might be I'll achieve that. uh, so the first thing is I don't give up, and the second thing is I don't lose self confidence. That since I it did not come out as per my liking, okay, totally give up, or okay,
Right.
lose your confidence. Nothing like that. And I also, yeah, of course, I'll be upset during that time, and I do a lot of distressing things like listening to music, or a lot of other activities like gardening, or by staying calm for 2 3 days, so that it doesn't bombard from my thing and all. Okay, what am I doing, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, so basically all any activity which makes me happy and which makes me not think about that situation. um, so I do all that distressing things, anything, like a hobby or whatever you like,
Sure.
or just sit or go out for a walk in sun or whatever. So I think, and after that, once you settle down, and after you calm down, then come back and then do the root cause analysis, and then, okay, might be this is the reason which, since I followed that, it did not work out. Might be, do it in a different way.
Sure.
So then my thinking, after I stay calm and all, then I can think correctly. Then, when the situation was bad. So that is what I do.
Brilliant. So, like in at multiple times, you have been mentioning planning, right? So, if you had to give a two-liner on what is the best way to plan, what is your suggestion?
Best way to plan, I don't see, I don't write down any list and all, everything is in my mind. Best way to plan.
As an
Um,
analyst, maybe, because I saw that everything and everywhere that analyst self of yours is coming through as
yeah,
well.
yeah, correct. Yeah,
So,
yeah, my
as an
professional. Yeah.
analyst, how would you plan uh, in two lines? What would you say about it?
See, come out with a list. Planning is, you always come out with a list of things to do.
Mhm.
So I come out with that list, every day, and um, prioritize, according to you, what should be the topmost thing. And then based upon the priority, allocate the time. See, for example, if it is the topmost priority, and I give more time to that. If
Mhm.
it is priority at the end, 10th priority, might be I don't have to give too much of time, to that.
Sure.
So give time as per your priority. Okay, let us say if my family, let us say, my daughter is not well, or my client meeting is also there and all, then of course my priority will be my daughter. And let us say she's all fine. So during that situation, my priority will be my daughter. And let us say if she's all fine and there is a customer meeting where I need to deliver something, gather the requirements in a day, and the next day I need to deliver, and everything at the family front is fine, of course the priority will be the customer. And if my daughter comes and disturbs me, then I'll tell, I need to complete this, don't disturb me. So it all depends upon the situation. So it will not be same every day, it all depends upon so many factors. So the highest priority one, you need to give more time. The lowest priority, you need to give less time. And of course, you need to be very good in time management, not getting distracted from your priority list. uh, you know whatever it may be, you don't get distracted. I don't, okay, I cannot talk from on behalf of other women. I can only talk about myself. So I make sure that I don't get distracted from my top priority ones. And that is the reason I don't use a mobile also.
Yeah, that my
I
next question was actually that you don't use a mobile, you don't use Facebook, you don't use WhatsApp. I think apart from LinkedIn, you don't use any of the other social media, platforms. Is that
uh,
correct?
uh, yeah, see, LinkedIn is a professional thing. I am there on Pinterest for a reason. I don't know whether that is called a social media or not. Yeah, I'm not there on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all these things. Anyway, I'm not there. I don't use a
For your
mobile as well.
work, yeah, even for your work,
But
don't you feel that these other platforms could be leveraged as well?
okay, it's like uh, for my works, because I get so much satisfaction in Upwork, I never bother to venture out. If you, frankly speaking, and all, yeah. um, but do I need that? Let us say, okay, if I am a registered member in Facebook, if I get more work, or Instagram more work, okay, my priority is how much more work I want.
Can you
I'm
take on,
happy.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
time wise.
Yeah. So I never thought about that, because I was quite happy with the Upwork. Yeah, I know that all these social media systems are used for working. I mean, to get work also, but it's too much of, I mean, sailing in too many boats.
Yes.
I'm not that comfortable. Putting leg in one boat, another boat, too many boats, and too much of information, too much of
Mm.
input coming into me, and I get distracted and my mind gets filled up. So that was my personal choice, that I didn't want to do all these things.
But you're okay with it, as in you are fine with.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
I'm
watch TV?
absolutely okay.
By the way, TV movies.
No, no, I don't watch TV as well. So earlier I used to watch TV,
Mm.
but off late, off late, it's like, I think 6 years ago, I think 7 years ago, I think I stopped watching TV. There's a lot of negativism. I still like those Doordarshan days, where, news used to be read like, with no
Everything is said for you,
expressions.
timing wise.
Yeah, there are a lot of expressions nowadays. If you open the TV and all, there is one ticker going on. There is one top ticker, there is bottom ticker, left side ticker, right side ticker. Then the person who is talking will be somewhere in the middle. So there is a bombardment of information, which I'm not that person, where I take too much of information and all, and a lot of negativism. That is the main reason why I stopped, watching TV. Earlier, when there used to be news, they used to just tell the news, and that's it. They never used to tell their opinion.
Mm.
Now people have got their own opinions. This is right, that is wrong. Who are we to decide, basically? On earlier days, it was not like that. So I still like those Doordarshan days, and where there was not much negativism, and after 8 o'clock you switch off TV and go back and sleep. So too much of information these days and a lot of negativism. That is the reason why I don't watch TV, and not into anything.
Wow, that was great, Jyoti. Thank you so much for taking time out and sharing your, like work, life, and journey with us. It was really awesome in terms of understanding various things that you have given up in terms of leading a more simple life. That's my key takeaway from, our conversation today. So that was Jyoti, friends, and of course, a lady who has given up I should say 75% of social media, television, and anything to do with hype and media and entertainment. And she lives this simple life, believes in kind of nurturing herself as well as her profession, and takes a lot of pride in terms of the kind of work she is doing as an analyst. So awesome. Thank you so much. Wish you great
Thank,
journey ahead.
thank you, Sonali, for talking to me and for taking time in talking to me. And I wish you the same.
Thank you. Awesome.